All right, so have you heard about this game, Goat Tapper?
Oh, yeah, I've seen it around.
Yeah, it's one of those mobile games, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of blew up out of nowhere.
Right.
And we're going to take a deep dive into it today.
Cool.
Yeah, it's gone way beyond just like, tapping on your screen.
Okay.
It's built like a whole community.
Wow.
Clans, real world, rewards, the whole 9 yards.
Interesting.
And it's fascinating how they did it.
Yeah.
So we're going to look at this article, Goat Tapper's Journey.
Yeah.
From viral sensation to player community.
Okay.
And, really try to understand, like, how do they go from this simple game to this, like, thriving community?
Yeah. What's really fascinating is that they didn't just, be another flash in the pan. Like a lot of games, they come out, they get a bunch of downloads.
Totally.
And then everybody forgets about them.
Yeah, they fizzle out.
Exactly. But Goat Tapper, they took that initial hype and built something way deeper.
So let's rewind to the beginning. What even made this game stand out in the first place?
Well,
we've all seen a million tap-to-earn games.
Right. I think they really nailed that core loop, that instant gratification of tapping, earning, seeing your progress.
It's addictive.
Yeah, it's addictive, but like in a smart way.
Right.
And then that goat mascot.
Yeah.
Genius branding.
It's so smart.
Instantly memorable. Super shareable.
Yeah.
I mean, it practically begged to be memed.
Oh, totally. Like, you had to share that with your friends.
Yeah.
So people were sharing their scores.
Right.
Those funny goat moments.
Exactly.
And that's kind of what fueled the initial fire.
It's like free marketing, basically.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting is what they did after that viral wave.
Okay.
They didn't just, sit back and watch the downloads roll in.
Right.
They shifted gears.
So instead of, chasing downloads, they started chasing community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They brought in leaderboards, achievements.
Okay.
Pretty standard stuff on the surface.
Right.
But think about the psychology there.
Yeah.
Suddenly, it's not just about your own progress.
Right.
It's about how you stack up against other players.
Yeah.
And that's where that network effect kicks in.
Wait, network effect.
Yeah.
Break that down for me.
So basically, the more people that are playing and competing, the more valuable the game becomes for everyone.
Interesting.
It's that gotta catch 'em all mentality.
Okay.
You see it in games like Pokemon Go, right?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Suddenly, you're not just invested in the game.
Yeah.
You're invested in the whole community.
That's a brilliant insight.
Thanks.
So you're not just playing for yourself anymore.
Right.
You're playing to climb those leaderboards.
Yeah.
Show off those achievements.
Totally.
It becomes like a social status symbol almost.
Exactly. And that kind of social engagement.
Yeah.
That's gold for developers. It keeps players coming back. They keep talking about the game. It just creates this buzz that keeps growing.
Okay, so they've got this engaged player base.
Yeah.
They're competing,
Right.
comparing scores. But Goat Tapper took it even further.
They did.
Right.
Yeah.
Enter the clans.
Clans were a total game changer.
Okay.
Think about it. You go from this individualistic tap fest to being part of a team, working towards shared goals,
right?
Strategizing with your clanmates.
It adds a whole other dimension.
And that sense of camaraderie, of belonging to something bigger.
Totally.
It's incredibly powerful.
It's like those epic guild raids in MMOs.
Oh, yeah.
Except here, you're raiding fields of virtual grass with your goat army.
It's true. But it taps into that same primal instinct for collaboration and teamwork.
We're social creatures.
Yeah, we are.
Even when we're gaming.
Even when we're gaming.
And Goat Tapper really understood that.
They did.
Okay, so they've built this community around competition, collaboration.
Right.
But how do they keep things fresh?
That's a good question.
I mean, tapping can only stay exciting for so long, right?
Well, that's where their approach to live events is really smart.
Okay.
Think seasonal events.
Okay.
Holiday tie-ins.
Uh-huh.
Community challenges.
I like it.
They're constantly adding new content, new goals, new rewards.
So I'm picturing like a Halloween event where your goats are dressed as little ghosts.
Haha, exactly.
Or like a Christmas event where you're delivering presents in a sleigh pulled by goats.
Obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
That's the key.
Yeah.
They're always tying it back to that core theme.
Right.
That quirky goat humor.
It's great.
But they're not just reskinning old levels.
Right.
They're introducing new mechanics.
Okay.
New storylines.
Right.
Even special limited time rewards.
Ooh.
That you can only get during that event.
So it creates that sense of urgency.
Yeah, that fear of missing out.
Got to get that limited edition Santa goat.
Exactly.
Before it's gone.
That's the one.
So it's not just about keeping the game fresh.
Right.
It's about tapping into that collector's mentality.
Totally.
Okay.
And by creating these time-limited events, they ensure that there's always something new to strive for.
Right.
Always a reason to come back and see what's happening.
In the Goat Tapper world.
In the Goat Tapper world.
All right, so we've got clans, events.
Yep.
A whole lot of goats.
Of course.
But something else really stands out about Goat Tapper.
What's that?
That focus on personalization.
Oh, yeah.
You're not just playing as some generic goat avatar, are you?
No, you're not.
Okay.
And this is where they get even smarter. They give you a huge amount of control over your in-game identity.
Right.
You can customize your profile, showcase your achievements, even design your own clan banners.
So it's like creating your own little personal goat kingdom.
Exactly.
You're not just playing the game.
Right.
You're building your own little corner,
the
Goat Tapper universe.
You got it.
And that sense of ownership, that pride in your creation, it's got to be a huge motivator.
It is.
Like you spend hours customizing your profile.
Yeah.
Your goats, your clan.
Right.
You're way more likely to stick around.
Yeah.
Show off your hard work.
Of course.
It's almost like they gamified self-expression.
I like that.
You're not just playing to win. You're playing to create, to express your personality through your goat empire.
It's a powerful combination.
So they've taken this simple, addictive core loop.
Yeah.
Layered on this incredible sense of community.
Right.
And then topped it off with this huge dose of personalization.
That's the recipe.
Yeah.
And it's taken them far beyond what anyone could have predicted.
So from viral hit to thriving community.
Yeah.
Goat Tapper is clearly doing something right.
They are.
But what's really got people buzzing is their next big move.
Okay.
Real-world rewards.
Interesting.
We're talking about bridging the gap between tapping goats on your phone and real life.
This is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
We're talking about potentially redeeming those in-game tokens for things like gift cards, merchandise, maybe even.
Wait, are you about to say we could be earning real money from tapping goats?
We'll dive into the specifics in a bit.
Okay.
But imagine this. You're grinding away, building your goat empire, and suddenly those virtual rewards, they translate into something tangible, something you can use in the real world.
Okay, now I'm officially hooked.
Good.
Let's unpack this whole real-world reward thing.
Right.
And you mentioned something about blockchain.
I did.
Now I'm really intrigued.
We're just scratching the surface here.
Okay.
This could be the future of in-game economies.
All right.
Get ready to dive deep.
Okay.
Because in part 2, we're going to explore just how far Goat Tapper is willing to push the boundaries of gaming.
I can't wait.
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
So this whole idea of real-world rewards, it's not just about the rewards themselves. You know?
Okay.
It's about blurring the lines between the game and like our world.
Right.
It's like Goat Tapper is saying, hey, your time and effort here, it matters.
It's like validating our gaming experience.
Exactly.
It's not just a waste of time, it's an investment.
Exactly. And that's a really powerful message, especially for like, you know, a generation that's grown up with games as a central part of their lives.
For sure.
Right.
But let's back up a bit.
Okay.
Before we get too deep into the future.
Yeah.
I'm curious how they've managed to stay so ahead of the curve.
Right.
It's like they have this sixth sense for what players want before they even know it themselves.
It all comes back to listening to the community. They have these incredibly active forums, regular surveys, in-game feedback mechanisms.
So they're constantly asking players, what do you want?
Yeah.
What would make this game better?
It's a constant dialogue.
So it's not just about collecting data.
Right.
It's about actually acting on it.
Absolutely.
Incorporating it into the game.
It's a true feedback loop.
Okay.
And that's something a lot of developers struggle with.
Yeah, I could see that.
They get caught up in their own vision, you know, their own roadmap, and they forget that the most valuable insights often come directly from the players.
So can you give me some like concrete examples?
Sure.
Of how this feedback loop has shaped Goat Tapper?
Yeah. So a while back, players were asking for more ways to interact with their clanmates outside of the main game.
Right.
They wanted a dedicated space to strategize, you know.
Okay.
Chat, share tips. So Goat Tapper introduced a clan chat feature.
So simple, but so effective.
It made a huge difference.
Yeah, it's like this mini social network
Totally.
within the game.
Yeah.
Specifically for clans.
It's a perfect example of how, like, a small feature can have a huge impact.
On community building.
Exactly. And then there was the time when players were craving more of a challenge. They loved the core gameplay.
Right.
But they wanted something more.
Okay.
Something to really test their skills.
So Goat Tapper introduced...
They introduced expert-level challenges.
Okay.
With higher stakes and more complex gameplay.
So they managed to cater to both.
Yeah.
Those casual players who just want to tap and relax.
Right.
And those hardcore players.
Exactly.
Who want to, like, push their goat tapping skills to the limit.
It's like they created a game with multiple layers, each offering a different level of depth and engagement.
It's a really smart approach.
It is. It's about understanding your audience and catering to those diverse needs without alienating anyone.
It's a tough balance.
It's a delicate balance.
Yeah, and they seem to have pulled it off.
They have. They've done a great job.
Okay, so they're listening to their players. Yeah. They're constantly evolving.
Right.
But there's something else that sets Goat Tapper apart.
What's that?
It's just fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's just plain fun.
It is.
And they're not afraid to get creative.
Absolutely.
Especially with those seasonal events.
Oh, those events are a masterclass in how to keep a game fresh and engaging.
I'm dying to hear about some of these events.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm picturing a Valentine's Day event.
Okay.
Where you're, like, helping Cupid goats shoot arrows of love.
I love it.
Or maybe like a St. Patrick's Day event.
Oh, right.
Where you're searching for pots of gold at the end of goat rainbows.
You're on the right track.
Okay.
One that really stands out was their Lunar New Year celebration.
Oh, wow.
They introduced a whole new set of levels.
Okay.
Inspired by Chinese mythology. Complete with dragon's lanterns.